Good. Test, test, boom. Okay, we are gonna get into a quick little session here. Dial in GS site, be working in that. Get Worktree and hopefully fix some bugs. We introduced a lot of new tiles, new features. Might have lost some functionality, and we're gonna explore a little bit with this being a cloud, us pulling this from GitHub. It doesn't have certain environment variables, so a little bit of a learning process here to fix some of this stuff. So we are going to refresh and get going. Yeah, we introduced a lot of tiles and certain settings logic. So we are in Cursor, we are in Claude Code, using Opus 4.5, the best coding model in the world right now. So GS Site, I think I've touched on it before, just a personal dashboard with a number of tiles using ShadCN for the UI, and just really connecting a bunch of API keys, everything from my printer to print KPIs to my Whoop band for biometric sleep stuff, heart rate, a bunch of endpoints for that API key. There's also a foundation for InBody that's at my gym. Although you do need like this token or whatever is what I found out. And you know, you have to be an owner and the gym's not gonna let you use it. So that is there's a lot of forms on GS Site, like there's input forms like that, input screenshot forms for calls made for the week, right? Forms to turn on and off my lights in my bedroom. Literally, like there's a lights come on with these bulbs, and they will not turn off at night until I complete the form. Some of this stuff sounds a little nuts, but it's a personal dashboard, and you know, the night form, you know, I don't always remember to input what my food consumption in MyFitnessPal. So it's a way for me to force myself to do certain things that I fall in habits of not doing when I should be doing them. So we're creating the kind of guardrails, certain guardrails with this. What else is in GS Site? We have Notion habits that I've been tracking for the last year and change. Those can do some cool things there that you can't. You're kind of limited in Notion by like some streaks, and you know, we have audio agents set up in GS Site. That's where those are housed, with access to code bases, write, do things on the fly. If you've watched other live streams, you know that I think audio is going to be the next context frontier that people in their work lives have to get used to. So got audio agents, a team of agents that have different permissions and tool calling capabilities, certain MCPs. for different parts of the code base. That is an ongoing project, not by any means done. But you know, what else we got here? Goals, told you, MyFitnessPal, personal projects, screen time input, all my Apple contacts, the random contact card, call my agents, forms, week goal, tiles, accountability report, including like a personal circle in which every week sends out to a personal circle. The metrics, same metrics that are printed here for me in an automated fashion. Habits, morning form to turn off the lights in the morning that slowly ramp up. Real estate KPIs, we need to connect that to the CRM. We have LLM benchmarks. We have our GitHub tracking all of our repos as well as commit counts. Usage of Claude for the month, my plan. We got certain back-end connecting things, word of the month, links to Notion, LLM benchmarks, again, Whoop, Gmail, more Notion, audio agents I mentioned, putting stuff into perspective tiles, you know, a lot of good stuff, and it's, you know, split, and you can kind of filter everything accordingly for some cool toggling capabilities. So we will refresh this because I did just add this, like, hey, you're falling off if you didn't do this. Certain things. So yeah, that's that evening form there. So really, okay, I should be able to click I understand now, and that's good. We also have the settings in which these red tails we're calling represent some sort of error criteria. So I do hope settings loads here so we can see how that development went. And like I said, we're on a get work tree here. A lot of these environment variables aren't set up. That's fine, we don't have to configure them all because when we push to main, should be in a decent shape as all those environment variables I think should just populate, right? You just don't want any conflicting anything conflicting at all. So we do have scores there. Just want to make sure basic functionality. Yeah, it doesn't look like admin is really wanting to. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so 404 on the admin. Admin page settings. Why is this? Reply in chat. No, bro. On the admin. Golly, not this again. Admin subpage settings with the gear icon brings to a 404. Reply in chat why this is. Tell it to spin up subagents if it needs. Currently we do have something in production on this. It's actually set up in my room in a similar fashion. We got an iPad just on a stand, plugged in, and it's on all day, all night. So it's good for the morning. It's good when I get back. It's just like a cool little home base type thing. And this is a project I could see just putting out there, putting on GitHub for people to personally configure. I just want to get, I want to think of all the edge cases and all the little benefits that can come to it. So that's definitely a goal, because I think this can help people, and they don't have to have an iPad with it always on, but just like a, say you have you can have a tile for everything, right? And you can have logic behind it for everything. Like, I don't know. I mean, say like with me and YouTube, I couldn't have the app download on my phone. Maybe you have a tile and you have to do a certain XYZ. You could make your own custom things before being able to enter websites, or configure it to devices you have around it with API keys. I think it's helpful, as everything can be customized, and just a good kind of idea, jumping off point. Aircon leads to, but the admin page actually exists at admin. Got a suitcase back there. Heading out to Motherland, Chicago tomorrow. It's gonna be cold as all get out. For the Derrick Rose jersey retirement. How freaking cool. Even though the Bears lost, the city's going to be electric. Stream tomorrow, stream Friday, stream Saturday, I'll stream Sunday. At least that's the plan for now. Gotta stay consistent. Got to stay consistent. So yeah, I think the personal dash is helpful. And you use all these tools. Say you're doing social media, or you run a business, you have social media. I got X, I got YouTube, I got Instagram, or I'll get Instagram connected. Scrape the profile stuff relating to your profile at least, or I don't know. I just feel like the dashboard's it's a good tool for me to be able to just have a home base, and then every individual site, like the CRM, has its own tile, just jumps to other spots. It's cool, and I just have these new ideas of integrating certain things, and I want to be able to implement those. And I know there's going to be more, so I don't think that make that repo public anytime soon until it's actually like fully dialed in. But I mean, I think I'll run local agents in there. Have the capability to. I'd like to get to the point where I can have an agent and just set up once it reaches a certain point, because this is very much a new project. It's only 3 weeks old and kind of been getting done in passing, is having an agentic layer, chatbot layer, via the Quad SDK and an actual chat space where everything's linked up, and it can make these modifications, add new tiles and whatnot on the fly without even ever having to come back into Cursor. So run local models, OpenRouter, all API keys configured, and just query out of there. Be kind of a home base for SQL natural language, or all my SQL databases, tables, whatnot, have the ability for that chat interface to query the SQL in just natural languages. I mean, it's having trouble with the environment keys. What is true is I don't want to be doing all that on stream. Oh boy. The door is closing. Wanna be a part of something more than this. I've lost control of it. Settings.json deleted. What are we talking about? Canceling that. I don't know why I removed settings.json. You can see down here, since the merge of CRM, still gotta go forward over there. A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It says royalty-free music. I hope that's the case. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. You know, we're doing standard out here. We are just prompting in one, running one agent. It's just I want to give attention to this as we're going to merge. So I do want to see, it's reached a point with the development of these new tiles that it should just be brought back in with all the environment variables, and where we can see if everything's populating in the right way, and then hopefully push a prod. production.
I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch my photos.
I'd say priorities for GS site. I'd say number one is just really finding all the tiles that are totally necessary. And I know those are going to be updated, but and then after that point, I think definitely audio agents is the number one. Oh boy. Okay. Does not look like it's went to main. That looks funky. Yeah, the audio agents and then getting recipes and stuff dialed. That probably comes after our next project, our next code base build. Probably comes after the report it for the CRM is built out, after all these tiles are completed. Safety rating, we want to be conservative. Like reply in chat a safety rating 1 through 10 of pushing tile dialed to main. In relation to GS Realty as well, and just total alignment analysis, reply in chat. Pretty wild that they removed UltraThink. I'm so used to saying UltraThink. No mas. No necesito. Nunca. Pero es divertido. UltraThink. I'm like, it was such a natural boom 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 typing kind of thing. I don't know why I did it in caps all the time too. So yeah, it's interesting, kind of getting a hierarchy, order of operations. You know, it's pretty easily and pretty prevalent. Projects, you know, when you're looking at one project, but when you look at things in a holistic, you know, across the mono repo with, you know, 3 apps in it. You kind of do have to bounce around in a weird way. But yeah, next project, after tile dialed here and GS site and build out reported is probably next. But we're gonna get into some Ralph Wiggum. We're gonna do some experimentation. We're gonna build it out from scratch. We have a lot of documentation and we have no real basis, but a ton of a big ass PRD. So I want to take advantage of this like pretty well thought out app that's going to be in this mono repo to, you know, maybe build out 2 versions of that app, one using Ralph Wiggum, one using a kind of call it a more tactical, handheld agentic layer is pretty, defined. We're going to be using a lot of commands, a lot of skills. We're going to be using a lot of specific subagents and some standard out and a lot of test writing and stuff. Or I want to compare that and being in the weeds there to just Ralph Wiggum, which is essentially a way for context windows to just kind of chain together, and you have however many tests. It's very upfront heavy in terms of defining your PRD and the acceptance criteria, and you also give it max iterations that it can do. So that's kind of your time lever. See, how many, keep it kind of contained from that standpoint. But I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? You have a big PRD. Why am I gonna, and this, Ralph thing has all the buzz, and it makes sense, because I think that where all of this goes is you have no 200,000 token context windows that you have to constantly manage, and manage subagents and all this. I think context windows are going to be gone. I think the bottleneck is going to be what you're asking, like the main prompt, and then what your budget is, and like specific deadline, whatever. But you're not gonna need to hold a hand as much and be in the loop as much. I think that's coming in the next 3, 6, 8 months. So I think the Ralph Wiggum thing is, it's definitely So it's saying clarify intent. Is switching to GS site only deployment intentional? Cherry pick is change. Sure. Complete and total files, references, everything related to GS site. We want to make sure all of that is going to main, and nothing is included that shouldn't be, and nothing is discluded that should be. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love. It keeps me high. Keeps me high. Not losing any properly functioning logic or overwriting properly functioning logic. It's gonna turn for a minute, but yeah, if you have a big PRD, I think it does make sense when an emerging thing like Ralph comes up to experiment there. The back-end stuff is a little weird with that, and I don't know all the schema, all the tables, all the relations, so it's a little tougher for me to let something just a constantly turning agent that's trying to iterate to hit its marks. Database specific, but on an initial build with a lot of documentation, I think I want to try that, and kind of that article that we went over, or rather I guess you call it a blog post, article, X post, whatever. I want to kind of implement something along those lines, that just me piecing together what other people are doing that works for them, that I think is going to work for myself. So we'll do, I think that'll be cool to do it in two ways, and we can compare and contrast from what are the main things that are important. Number one, time. Number two, quality output. Is it usable? Three, understanding of which PRD, what handles a PRD better, or the PRD that I write. I don't know. I'm not super in the weeds on the PRD, but I have a fair amount of natural language context and criteria and features and actions that comprise the app. So I'm hopeful that will be enough for Ralph. But it's going to be interesting. I think that will be a cool one, and that one is, going to be very helpful for the agentic layer. And just producing and taking advantage of these tools at a higher degree, scaling compute, and scaling you being in the loop. Not scaling you being in the loop, but I should say minimizing major decisions and context switching, minimizing all of that in the agentic layer, and being able to do it on the go. So this is a pretty not exciting stream. I recognize we are just trying to make sure everything is good, merging multiple work trees, nothing too crazy today, but probably gonna go ahead and cut it. Tomorrow is gonna be a travel day, and I think probably the last night of messing with GeoSite, getting it to a good point, and then from there, and maybe even getting into some of the report it, the PDF gen, would be good. Would be great. Could knock both of those out tomorrow. But yeah, gonna cut it here. Wish everyone all the best, and hit that subscribe button, and we're all trying to grow and learn here and get better. So yeah. Alrighty. All the best.